Hey guys, welcome to the talk show under YouMeUs TV. I'm your host, okay, get to know me. My name is Miriam, okay, you'll be seeing a lot of me. And today we've got the lovely Aran in the building. He's a fellow colleague of mine, you know, we work together, consider each other family. I hope you consider me as family.
Yeah, definitely. I've learned that from you as well, to know how to develop that and make that an important part of being here, knowing the stuff we can do together when we see each other like that. 100%, yeah.
That's it. And today, obviously, is all about you. Okay, no pressure. I mean, you can't really mess it up because it's all about you, right?
I don't mind.
Obviously, you're somebody that has achieved a lot, in my opinion, in my eyes anyways. You've achieved a lot and well done, gratitude, all of that. I want the people to know and possibly learn from you. Mm-hmm. What do you do? How do we know each other? What have we worked on together? What are some of your achievements? Let's start from there. What do you do and how do you know?
So what I do is, I think it's I'll try and whittle it do to three things. So firstly, project manager for YouMeUs.tv / YouMeUs Media, which is, of course, the show is part of that. So it's the digital entrepreneurship program for young East Londoners who want to know how to create, curate and commercialise their content.
Yes.
But I have a background in content creation myself.
Nice.
So I always, actually when I was younger, I always wanted to be, a film director.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, we never spoke about that.
No,
I think I've just sidelined it as a dream, to be honest. Or not even as a dream, but just as a thing that I talk about.
Wow.
So I made a few films when I was a kid, just very kind of like camcorder sort of stuff.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it is.
I should insert clips.
If I can get it, actually.
Yeah,
a lot of it's clips. On VHS, these old sort of videotapes.
Yeah.
I'll try and get a hold of those. But yeah, that's what a background in that. But mostly now the content that I make is kind of social media type, YouTube-y sort of, was on YouTube. I mean, it could, whatever YouTube-y style is, but yeah, I make content. And now help other people to make content. So yeah, project manager, content creator. I said a third thing, I'll just say friend, family member, all that usual stuff, brother, son, whatever.
Okay, what's been the biggest struggle in your career in terms of content making and maybe finding a job with that type of description, especially because I didn't know that was your background, was your passion was film.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm a film director, so I'm what? I was how do I not know this? At least you could have shown me a little something, but it's okay.
It all ties in.
Yeah, it does.
So, yeah, what my biggest struggle is, yeah, that's a great question. The struggle is not putting out enough stuff. Or the biggest struggle is probably being too self-conscious and holding back what I can do, which is, I know that's a common thing. So hopefully this will be of some use to whoever's watching this now. Yeah. But yeah, it is the self-consciousness around, I don't want to put this out yet because it's not right. Or I don't want to put this out because I'm worried about what people are thinking. That's probably the more honest take on it. Yeah. I probably just go, that's not right yet. I'm trying to make it perfect before it can go out.
Yeah.
Really, that was self-protection to avoid people judging me and criticizing me. So, I mean, I've got stuff, I've got photos now. I'm a photographer as well. Okay. Actually, I want more people to see some of the photographs I've taken. So I'll edit them up. Here's one, here's two, here's three.
Yes.
Pretty good, eh? Pretty good.
Pretty good. Shout him, okay? If you need a photographer, message him, link in bio, tell you that much.
I'll probably be editing this one, so I'm going to drop the best ones in. So,
and he's an editor, guys. Look, he's the whole, what's it, triple threat?
In the creative. Swiss Army knife, content creator.
Swiss Army knife, that's amazing. I'm going to start using that. Yeah, I'm the whole Swiss Army knife, the whole shebang.
But yeah, I mean, it is that holding it back because I don't think, it's not good enough. And I would hold back, not even just what I think is my best stuff, but any stuff.
Do you know why I find that so interesting? Because I feel like everybody likes to claim they don't care what people think. And I think the creative industry, especially film, is the one of very few places, any form of artistry, you're allowed to not care because it's not tailored to everyone.
Yeah.
You might go to a gallery and see a painting and have no idea what it's supposed to mean. And you might read the meaning and you might not have no correlation between the art and the actual story, but it's art. it's free, it's whatever, it's expressive. So it's so interesting that people in the creative field, because you're not the first person, like I was so insecure for ages that I started like the pod 2 years later. Do you know what I mean? I only really got into film later on in my life.
Yeah.
And it's so dumb when you think about it, not to like, not how you felt in the past, but I feel like it's so dumb because the point of creating and content and any form of creative industry, it's a form of art. Like, we should be allowed to just make whatever we want and not care. And people are going to like it, some people aren't. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. But you're a bit like me. I'm quite a harsh self-critic, bit OCD. I'm like, I need things to look a type of way, feel a type of way, sound a type of way, and if it's not up to par, I don't want to do it. But that's kind of like digging your own grave, because you've made all that content anyways, just because, and this is something I've learned, just because I see things a type of way, I probably see it because of my role or my position or my experience. 90% of your audience, maybe 80% if we want to be a bit more, they won't even see it. They won't even notice.
No.
It's interesting how that works.
I just want to like touch on that point you said about, you know, caring what people think as well, and all of that stuff. Like, now I think I'm at a stage now where I would like move beyond that, just because to me, there's not an objective idea of what's good and bad. So if someone's criticizing me, they're coming at it from their perspective. Map of the world, as we would say at Team CIC, you know, Bob Singer, Robin Lockhart, the whole thing.
Shout out to my peoples.
But it's true. It's like, if someone doesn't like it, they don't like it from their perspective. If they do like it, they'd like it from their perspective. So that's allowed me to sort of, you know, move beyond just kind of getting too upset about whether someone likes it or not.
And it's all about it's a part of your journey, right? Because perspective is the one thing that you'll learn at some point in your life, and this is to everybody. You can't control people's perspectives at all. You can try put your best foot forward every single time, look perfect every single time. You can completely give off a different energy, or someone just might take it that way because of their own preconceptions and their own perspective. But again, it's part of your journey, and that's something I want to talk about. Let's talk about your growth. Let's talk about...
Sorry, before you go, could I just
want
to finish that off.
Sure.
Because I think it'd be of use to hear it, because it's one of my biggest things.
Yes.
For me, a lot of that, when I was, say, like worried about what people used to think about the content that I would put out, when I was a little bit too self-conscious, it was, for me, rooted in seeking approval. Like, it was rooted in my own insecurity to say, all right, please like this, i.e. please like me. But now I'm moved beyond that to the point where it's like, I do care what people think. I care what the person paying for the content thinks, because they're the one paying for it. So I'm like, all right, how do you want it to be? It doesn't matter what other people think, because
it's not tailored to them,
They're the spectators, they're on the sides. It's cool what they think, but my focus is on, all right, who am I making this for? The audience, the client, and it's a bit more focused. Everything around that is just, you know, can be noise now. That's
interesting. Why do you think that your deep-rooted, like the core of that is seeking approval? It's a deeper question, but...
Yeah, I mean...
It could help a lot of people to hear that.
Could you repeat the question?
So why do you think that the core of like maybe you being insecure in terms of putting your work out or whatever at a certain period of your life, has come down to wanting the approval of other people? Why do you think that is?
Why? Probably like it's like all, you know, good old childhood stuff.
Yeah. It's all the trauma, guys. We're all just traumatic kids in this world.
YouMeUs Trauma Show.
YouMeUs Trauma Show. That'd be amazing. Oh my gosh.
But I mean, if it helps people, like if it helps this conversation between us or anyone who's like listening, it can trace it back to childhood and whatnot, stuff that's happened there. Stuff that was out of my control, really. And stuff that's out of your control. If you ever think about why you're like the way you are, or if anyone's watching, why you're like the way you are. My Bob Mama, my uncle, he has an answer to every why question. I'll let him say what it is. But it's not my fault, it's not your fault.
Of course.
But it is my responsibility to do something about it and to change it.
Yeah.
And that's what I have in my control, and that's what I'm going to do now.
And you know, the reason why I asked that question is because it boils down to identity, right? So like it's why you are how you are or who you are. And with anything in the creative industry, again, translates through your identity. And I think that's such an interesting correlation, that your art form and the reason why you held back from your art form was for so long had a very similar core to it. Because without your identity, you might make things, for example, because of my identity, me and you can go and have the same brief and shoot 2 completely different films or 2 completely different episodes on the YouMeUs channel, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it could be the exact same brief, and it just comes down to how your identity translates that into your perception. And I find that stuff so interesting.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could talk about it for hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's talk about your growth. I want to go for your growth. And not a lot of people know this. You've been here for how long with YouMeUs?
Well, YouMeUs has been running for 2 years,
Yeah.
but it's the project of CIC. So I've been at
Catalyst and
CIC,
Communities, yeah.
CIC for 3 years now.
And then you actually did 2 years voluntarily.
Yes,
No pay.
drop that in there.
Yeah, we've got to. People need to know the real nitty gritty stuff, because
Yeah.
people think, honestly, people think, okay, cool, like if I just land myself a job in this creative life, okay, in this industry, in any creative industry, you have to do a lot for free. And a lot of the time, you have to pay for a lot of things out of your own pocket, let alone getting paid. And it's about showing that journey and showing that hard work. Like, look, I could be like, oh, look, I did 2 years here for free, but spoiler alert, I've worked on a film that's doing great in box office right now, and I've done this and I've done that. And like, who else can say that, really?
Yeah, I know. And it's a tough one, obviously, because people want to have money, but it's like the 2 years. Let me cover the 2 years. Like, I wasn't in a position to be getting paid when I started those 2-3 years.
Okay.
So I had to take the risk, make the mistakes, and get to a position where I was like, all right, I'm putting in the value now to get the money out in return. And the whole point of doing it for free is that it was a learning opportunity as well.
Nice.
So it minimized the risk, but then I could, make the mistakes and give the value and then prove that I can do it. Yeah, and it allowed me to collect up evidence to say that I can now do this job. Like, honestly, this is a big thing. I think my brother has said this, and a lot of people have said this as well. It's like, I wanted to be a film director, but I thought my route to being a film director was to have a written CV and then say, I've studied film studies. Yeah. Can I get a job on this film?
Right, exactly.
But that's not why organizations or companies or projects, they hire people. They hire people based on, can you give me what I want?
Exactly, experience.
Experience, evidence, competence.
Exactly, competence. And you used the word in there that stuck out for me was value. There's a value in learning and doing things for free, because all of that is now, all those skills are translatable.
Yeah.
And now that you are earning from what you do, it's 10 times better.
Yeah.
Because you've been in the mud for 2 years, no pay, just working and learning, and you've given it a value. Someone can just do the exact same thing you did and be like, I just wasted 2 years of my life and not gotten paid. But you've actually seen, okay, I thought this was my goal. Actually, let me take all of this on, make it valuable to me, and tailor it to my work and my skills.
Yeah.
And it's paid off.
Yeah, value is a really big thing that's kind of hyper focused on now, and is at the forefront of my mind. It's shifted my entire outlook on life. I'm really interested in psychology and thinking and behavior. And for me, I've narrowed it down to value, and I'm interested in attraction and all that stuff. So in the training program, from the YouMeUs.tv training program, there's an episode on, actually I can't remember, it might be an audience or something like that. But there's a bit in there where it talks about attraction. Okay. And when I was writing the script, it's an amalgamation of loads of different things that the conversations we've had. But I said, how I define attraction is something is attractive when it has what something else wants. And so I said, what that thing that is you, what that thing is value. So I then went, all right, if you want to get paid, getting paid is about serving value in exchange for cash. So it's about giving that person what they want in exchange for cash.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, the more you do that, then you become valuable, so valuable. And the more you do that, the more you find people want to keep you around because they want to keep that value you're giving. And so that means money, that means like relationships, and then you enter into that bond. So if you're not serving the value, then you won't get the job, you won't get the relationship.
Yeah.
It's almost against natural law that if you are giving that person what they want, it doesn't make sense for them to send you away.
Yeah.
If you're giving them what they want, it's like they have to.
It's an attraction, yeah.
They have to come.
That's so interesting. See,
Yeah.
I've never even thought about that. So for me right now, you've just taught me something. Because I'm like, you've gone from value. You know when you dropped it, you were like valuable and then valuable. I was like, valuable? I was like, whoa. Like, you know that Oprah moment when she interviewed Meghan Markle and she was like, were you silent or were you silenced? That was that moment for you. That was that moment. I was like, whoa.
I had this moment. I came up with that again in my own version because it's been conversations like between me and Bob Mum. But I had that when I was in Costa, and I was like, oh, this is good.
This is good. You need to trademark that, copyright it.
Because it's like, actually, I came up with another line. Let me
Go
just
on.
crowbar it in.
Chuck it in.
I'm not even going to put it in like subtly.
Right, go on.
Be the thing that what you want wants. So it's like you want it, but what does that want? And if you become that, then the thing you want will come to you, right?
And that's the title of this video. Be the thing that what you want wants. Guys, it's deeper. I'm telling you, we're not just providing bands. We're here to provide real knowledge, okay? And I think to hear that from you, for me personally, is amazing. Because obviously we work together and more time we talk about, work and, editing and what's coming up next and da-da-da-da. And we never really get to sit down and talk about what we've learned or like how far we've come or where we at now, in terms of knowledge, in terms of where we want to be. And it's just so nice to hear you say that. I'm like, okay, Aran, he said valuable, are you dumb? I'll never let that go. He said valuable, as in you're able to see the value. You guys, I wasn't ready. You can tell I wasn't ready for that. Right, but anyways, let's get back into your journey and let's get into actually the process of learning how to make your content. Yeah. Because that's important, especially if you're going to do a 2-year, let's say voluntary work, because that's what it is to a certain extent, right? And it is around media, content creating, stuff like that. What were your kind of first steps into getting into that?
Into content creation, right. So, yeah, that's a good story. When I was younger, made a few home films, really enjoyed it, but didn't follow up on it.
Okay.
Some of that I blame on school, because they wasn't really providing opportunities to create or make videos and stuff like that. Didn't have phones really back then to video on. So you had camcorders, but it was a different time. But yeah, I just didn't follow up and do enough of it. So then slowly time went on, did a bit of filming in school, which I really enjoyed, showed a aptitude for that. And then, when I got to uni, I didn't really take enough initiative to say I wanted to do film production, so I ended up doing film studies, which is very academic.
They almost tried to trick me into doing that.
They tricked me into it. But yeah, it was film studies, so it wasn't film production.
Right.
And then a couple of years went by, or a few years went by, and then funny enough, I don't know why it happened, but then Robin went on BBC News, and he said. He got in touch with me, this is in the early days, and said, Aran, can you download this and edit my bit out? I don't know why, I had never done any editing with CIC. Right. Then I'd done it, and I was hooked on just the cutting and the fades. Yeah. I felt that. So then the next day, took out the Canon 60D, the old banger of a camera, and then just made my own version of a Gary V episode.
Okay, interesting.
So it's pretty interesting actually. I should dig that out. But that's that was went and made that, showed it to Bob Mama, and he was he loved it. I think 1 week later we went out and done like a day in the life shoot of him. Cool. And that was a disaster in itself.
That I need to see.
I said to him, I could write a book about that.
Oh,
and I could,
my gosh,
because like the catalogue of errors was
just happening. It was a domino effect.
Yeah, there's still some stuff that I already told Robin last week that when we were doing one of the interviews by Tower Bridge, the camera died.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So I stood there for like 2 minutes. I didn't want to bring it up because I was like, I don't want to get punched in the face again. So I just stood there like that and then went, yeah, it was good.
That's everything.
But, and from there it was just like, it just, catalyzed and didn't stop.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I Love Youth Work, which led to YouMeUs, which led to, the people coming in, you coming in, and yeah, 2021, we're here now.
So for people who might not know who YouMeUs are, CIC, Catalysts and Communities, if you could break it down for them, what would you say we are and what we do?
We are YouMeUs, so it's about you, it's about me, it's about us. That's the philosophy. It's been around for a long time. I think Bob Mum was saying like 20, 25 years. I think he was bringing it up. But it came to the forefront in East Side Story in 2019 when Bob and Robin done East Side Story in Waltham Forest.
Nice.
Changed those young people's lives, forever. And YouMeUs was like the core philosophy as part of that. So then it became now YouMeUs Media.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're a digital agency, digital production agency, training young people up how to make content, and now bringing them in the team. So now we've got the Legacy League, which we're covering, and yeah, it's just going from strength to strength. Honestly though, like what we're doing now in slowly getting more content out there.
Yeah.
I think it's clear to me. I got a little bit of a big head on to be able to say certain things, but I think our content is much better than a lot of other people's content,
100%.
Especially some of the competitors.
Yeah.
Not only in terms of production values, but in terms of the actual value of the content. I think there's a lot of stuff that we say that people want, and if they want it and we give it, it's only inevitable that they will come. And
there's a cyclical nature to that, because what's put out to be valuable needs to come from something valuable. So if we're valuable people and our, what we do and our ethos is all valuable, regardless of what we do and how we put it out there, there's value to it. And I think that's important because, 20, 25 years in the game, like obviously I haven't been around for 25 years, but, back days even before I was born, but, it's, as a organisation, we've been so successful for so long.
Yeah.
And I think it comes down to, people say move with the times. To a certain extent, for us, that's what it is, because we've been so successful within the industry, internally, but not enough people hear about it, not enough people know about it. Like people like Bob and Robin, they're out here winning universal awards and being the best coaches in the world and X, Y, and Z, and unless you're in that field or, you've had the luxury to be around them in their presence, in any of their enrichment or workshops, coaching stuff, whatever it may be, you won't know. And I think it's really time for us to really just put our faces on the map and be like, guys, look, we're not just a regular youth organisation, we have the power to change people's lives, and I think that's what's important. And not just, through conversations and through the workshops and through, coaching, but also through the digital side of things. Because if we can help you pick up a skill that can build your career, why not? And that's the aim, right? That's the aim. It's to help people not just mentally, physically, emotionally, but also with their skills.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a beautiful thing that this organisation actually provides that. But yeah, I wanted to get into a little more of how you got here. If you could reflect on your life right now, how would you say you got to the position you are at now?
How did I get here? So my journey was, it's a long old journey. Years and years of not really putting myself out there, being slow on that, and then kind of taking the safe and easy road. Spending a lot of time doing not even a lot of time actually, but being good at writing. So I went and done English and film studies at uni.
Oh, wow.
But didn't actually produce any content. And was just saying to myself, all right, I'm gonna be a director, but never putting a deadline on it and saying when.
It's important to set mini goals, by the way. I know I'll cut you off. That's my thing, guys. Set mini goals. Even if it's a week or every month or every other month, like every 2 months, be like, okay, I need to record a video, or I need to edit 2 pieces of work, or just for your own skills, you know, it's really, really important. But go ahead.
No, 100%. I mean, it's important. And there was a coaching session last week, and I said, like, I don't want to come in. I'm not going to come in and give ideas. I'm just going to come in and say, are we actually going to do this, and how? And actually, I said it in my check-in. I said, what I'm going to bring in is just 2 questions, when and how, not what and why, which can be a bit more sort of, they're essential, but you know, they're idea-based a lot of the time. Well, they are idea-based.
I think they're the key to procrastination sometimes. Like, I think you should ask those questions once at the beginning, know what you want to do, why you want to do it, cool. After that, it's how and when.
Yeah.
How are we doing this? And the how is going to be probably the longest. When is probably easier, but how? How are we going to produce it? Who are we bringing into it? That's the main question.
I mean, I've spoiled there's this thing that I want to say to more people, but I don't. I was like, actually I said it to my brother, but I said, what's the one word that will make something 10 times more likely to happen? And he was like, he said something.
Yeah.
And,
something that wasn't right.
But I said, it's when. For me anyway, it's when. So it's like, there's been times when I've gone to see friends and we're like, oh, should we meet up again? And we're like, yeah, that would be good. And then it just sort of like peters out. But in that moment, if I go, yeah, let's meet up again, when? Then we're like getting our diaries out and saying, how about next Sunday?
Yeah, next week, and it's sorted.
Yeah, exactly. So if we want to have a Christmas party, when? Then it's like it comes into reality a little bit more. But also be wary that I think people know that as well.
Yeah.
So if they don't ask when, if I don't ask when, there's something else behind that, which is either I don't want to do it, or just let's not do it yet, let's hold it off. So, but yeah, I think if you ask when, that thing becomes, you know, more into reality, more likely to happen.
It's a ripple effect. It has to come back out for it to go back in, right? So when is the key, guys, when is the key question, okay? If you want to do what one of us do, or, you know, anyone you see and you're like, well, I want to get into that, don't ask how, ask when. If you say, by next year, I want to make 2 films. By next year, I want to get scouted by a local football club. By next year, I want to have my own fashion collection. By next year, I want to be a photographer. That's it. That's your deadline. Set yourself deadlines, and you will do whatever it takes in that year to get to somewhere close enough to that deadline. And it's progress. And it's important because I think organization is very, very key, but when you set that deadline and you set yourself a goal, that is much more effective than just saying, oh, I'm just going to organize my time, and, you know, when I have some free time, I'll do it. Do you actually end up doing it? Because 9 times out of 10, if you're a busy bee like me and you have some free time, guarantee you just want to lay in bed and watch TV and sleep, and it's just like, there's not much productivity there.
Yeah, and look, I get that. I get when people say free time because, you know, they're busy, or they might, you know, they need to go to work or something like that. I'd reach out to a lot of young people who don't necessarily have a job and who do actually have free time. It's like, you know, we all got 24 hours in the day. How do you want to spend that?
Yeah. Do you know what it is? I guess it's about that balance of, do I want to be a kid and live my childhood life, or do I want to be ahead of the game?
Yeah.
Type thing. And a lot of people think that it's either one or the other, but you could do both. You can intertwine your childhood and your friendship groups and your experiences and what you do, and make that into content, and make that into a stepping stone into being ahead of the game, or starting up your career, or laying out your foundation, because it starts with you. If you know yourself and what you can do, what you need to learn, what you don't know, that will come from somewhere, and it's the best thing to do when you combine that. So that's a tip, guys, from us as a whole. Don't feel like you need to separate your life and what you do in order to achieve something, or in order to completely live or fulfill that one thing. You can bring them in together. You're not supposed to just be fit in one box. You're not just supposed to just sit in a box and that's it. One career, one this, one that. And of course you can. That is always going to be an option that's there for you. But I really, truly believe that as creatives, we're built to do so much more than just one thing.
Yeah, and like do what you want to do wherever you are.
That's it, yeah.
So like serve the value. If you're in the job you don't like, do it there. And I think you'll just naturally, like, the universe will like vibrate you out of it.
That's it.
Like if you're a superstar in the kitchen, people will notice.
Yeah.
Someone might even film you. You might even film yourself.
Yeah. You might start a channel. How to make tiramisu. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you're doing your thing, you're chefing it up, and you're giving them their ingredient list and their step by step, and that's it. Boom. And it didn't take any longer than you would have off camera.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I like. I like responsibility, and I like being sort of like contrarian and like calling people out. I like people to call me out, and I like to call them out. Like, I know there's a meme going around that there's not a lot of opportunities for young people, which I understand, and that's true. But
Yes, yeah.
I would say, like, have you done everything you can to get what you want? Like, yeah.
Go on. I think what I find interesting is because I've always said that. You know, like, there's no opportunities, especially being a minority living in East London. It's not like people don't give out their opportunities to people like me. But what I've learned is don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Make your own opportunities. If you're a chef at home and you know you're cooking it up and you're making dinner and you know that if you put this recipe out, it can get views, it can start something, or you might have a passion from that. That's your opportunity. Go grab your phone, grab a camera, grab whatever you have, film it, or make a post after you've made your dinner. Post it. This is what I made. This is how I made it. Put it on social media. Done. You're creating opportunity. You're creating noise around who you are, and you're slowly going to generate a platform and a foundation and an entry point. I feel like a lot of us growing up thought opportunities meant work. Yeah. Thought it meant, you know, someone in a suit coming up to us and being like, oh, you're a star, kid. Like, I want you to work with me. And it's not realistic.
Yeah. I mean, no, like 100%. Like, if you want to be a chef,
right,
then go into every social situation and say, hello, I really want to be a chef. Do you know anyone that I can get any help with? Like, or just say, I want to be a chef, can you help me?
Or even just say, I'm a chef.
Yeah.
But I just don't have a platform yet. Like, I'm a chef, I want to do this on a more public scale, I want to do it on a more professional scale, or whatever it may be. How do I do that?
Yeah, go. I mean, I think the theory works. Like, be the thing you want once. So, if you want to be a chef, what is it that someone who pays a chef wants? They want someone that can make food, organize a kitchen, who can, you know, like charm the guests. You know, who's a bit authoritative.
Presentation.
Right, so you take all that, and then you got to make a choice. Do you want to become this, or do you want to stay as you are? And then you go, I want to be a chef. Then you go, all right, I can't afford to be shy and scared and afraid anymore. If I want to have what I want, I got to be this.
That's it, and it's the have to be methodology that shout out to Bob. Bob taught us.
Definitely.
You know, you look at what you want to have, what you would do if you had it, and the type of person you would be, and you flip it and you start at where the type of person you'd be, and you'd go up. Okay, these are the things I would do, start doing them, and you'd eventually get what you have. And I think for me, that methodology is so fascinating because it's so simple and it's so real. If I wanted to be successful, if I was successful, I would do X, Y, and Z. If I start doing that all now, I'd have what I want at the end of it. And obviously, it doesn't mean it's going to always work and it's verbatim and you're going to get that exact career path, but you'll get what you want at the end of the day. And it's it's mind-blowing that it's so simple and so easily applicable to people's lives, and yet we don't know how to even navigate through that.
No, exactly. I mean, it's an interesting one. I just always simplify it down to like, know what you want.
Yeah, know what you want.
And we are attracted to what we want, and it's just that's influencing like everything I do now. It's influencing like the content I make. Like, so for example, just put a post up now of when we went to UFF to meet Robbie.
Nice.
And then there was a bit where he talked about advice for young content creators, and he was being interviewed by Wasima.
Nice.
And in the description, I was going to write, amazing advice from the Don, which is what I would usually write. But then I just now changed it and I put Wasima at the front. I was like, well done to Wasima for getting this amazing value and being an amazing interviewer. She's destined for success. And I know that is going to be more, doing that is going to bring more people into this program, and it's going to help Wasima much more.
Because Wasima, for those of you that don't know, but you should know, okay, Wasima is one of our young people. She's a presenter. She's mainly a sports presenter. That's it, when people see someone that looks like them or that's in their age group and is doing stuff like that, and they maybe want to dabble into it or they're interested but they've never seen anything like that, light bulb moment, sparks fly. People are like, oh my God, like, she's my age and she's interviewing Robbie. Like,
but even more like specific and direct than that, is what he's saying is that at YouMeUs, you are valued.
That's it.
And you will be valued and recognised. And that is creating that space where I think other young people will want to come to get to be a part of this. Because I'm like, hey, we went to meet Robbie, but the first thing is we're going to recognise Wasima because she made this.
That's it. And she held her ground and she did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like, hopefully that sends out the message to other young people like, all right, if I come to this, I'll have that as well. I'll be recognised and given a chance as well.
Perfect. Okay, let's round off. I want, first of all, to thank you for coming on.
Thank you too.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for providing your wise words and your gems that I'm going to start tweeting about. If you check my Twitter out, I'm going to be like, valuable Aran at YouMeUs.
Credit. No, it's fine.
I'm gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna give him his flowers today. That was absolutely amazing. Like, I'm like, get him in the booth. That was perfect. Just to round off, so who we are, what we do, where people can find us, stuff like that.
We are YouMeUs.
You, me, us. Okay, so you behind that screen. Okay, this is a relationship. You're involved. And if you want to get more involved, Aran will tell you where to find us.
You can find us on Instagram, search up at youmeus.tv.
That'll be there. Boom.
Yes, search it up, follow it. It's genuinely valuable content. And that's growing more and more. Yeah. And there's young people, local young people, putting themselves out there bravely, sharing their content. By following it, supporting it, you're supporting those young people, but you're also getting some value out for yourself. Like, there's some good, like real good advice and tips and films on there. So it's a movement. So follow us on there. We're also on YouTube as well.
Of course, which hopefully this will be on YouTube.
Yes, this will be on YouTube. Of course, if you're watching this, then you'll know that we are on YouTube.
You're halfway there, love, I'll tell you that much. But regardless, all the links will be in the description, okay? You'll be able to find us on all our platforms. Sign-up sheets or documents will be in the description, the Instagram page. Obviously, like, comment, subscribe, okay? Tell a friend. Make sure you all follow up on all the social media platforms and share them, okay? If you know anybody that, is youth, East London based, that they're looking for workshops, media-oriented skills and being taught how to just get into this industry and, trying to come away from all the negatives of being, young and raised in East London with all the challenges that it comes to, shout us, okay? DM us, drop us a message, comment on the video, whatever. Contact us any which way and we will come and provide and give value. So there you go. Right, thank you so much for coming on. It's been great. And yeah, guys, it's been It's been good. Bye.